Hello, this is Lisa Hazard with the podcast We Are All Psychic, and yes, I still think we're all psychic. Today, I would just like to talk a little bit about crystal journeys. What's a crystal journey? Oh, they're just fantastic, and I'm on one right now. I learned about crystal journeys in a Facebook group I've been in for a million years. Probably a few years after I joined Facebook in 2008, I joined this crystal working group. And I learned so much. The reason I joined was because a friend invited me, and I didn't know anybody else who did stuff with crystals like I did. Um, so I was psyched, and I felt honored to be a part of this very small group. And these people taught me amazing things. But I think the first week I was in that group, they told me that they do crystal journeys. And I said, "What's that? That sounds like fun. I want to do it. You don't even have to tell me what it is. I'll do it. If it's crystal, if it's a journey, I'm doing it." So they told me that, as a group, we vote on whatever we have. We throw out some ideas for some crystals to work with, and then we'd vote. And whatever crystal combination or whatever we chose with the most votes, we would name that crystal the journey crystal. The first journey I did with this group was a Moldavite journey, and I made a Moldavite ring for that. I always make a ring if I can for a journey. During a journey, anybody who's participating, you can do it by yourself. It's a lot of fun with other people, though. The point of the journey is to get to know the crystal personally, whichever crystal you're working with, and work with it. Find out its benefits. Find out how it might affect you. And my Moldavite journey made me really creative. I wore that ring and I thought about it a lot. I made it present in my mind that I was studying the effects of Moldavite. So for a week in this group, we do these journeys and they go from Monday to Monday. I put on my ring. I usually start a little early, to be honest. I usually start Sunday, but that's okay. There aren't too many awful, strict rules about a crystal journey. So I'll tell you about the journey I'm doing this week with this particular Facebook group I'm in. We are doing a journey with the crystal garnet. Garnets are usually red. So they can be pinkish. They can be purplish. They can be orange. Hessonite garnet. And I'm wearing like a yin yang, how do you pronounce this? Adamine garnet. And I'm wearing some garnet earrings I made with some tumbles on beads. And I'm wearing a tumbled bead garnet bracelet. And I'm wearing a a tumbled garnet necklace that I wire wrapped. So this is day 2 of this crystal journey. Yes, well, it's really my day 3. Ha ha ha. Suckers. Just kidding. I'm sure some of the others may have slipped it on a little early too, or put their garnet in their pocket. Yeah, maybe they played with them a little bit. I have pretty sure they did, because that's what we do with our crystals. We play with them and get excited about stuff like crystal journeys. So the point, like I said, is to work with the crystal, see how it affects us, and see what other people's effects are, and see if they find anything out if you're doing a journey with somebody. So in my first 2 days of this garnet, or 3 days of this garnet journey, I've been able to express my emotions really well, which is not easy for me to express my emotions. I can express myself, I can talk about how I feel, but there's always an element of, for me anyway, holding back my strongest emotional response about whatever the conversation is or whatever's happening. I just feel like a hesitancy to share my emotional feelings, impressions, like how I'm affected. I don't want to affect other people by telling them how I feel a lot of the time. And sometimes I just don't think anyone really wants to know. And that's kind of sad. And then other times it just feels like it's kind of it's hard to explain. Hey, come on, Garnet, help me out. Give me some words for how it's hard to express my emotions. So I'm touching my garnet necklace. Now, I did talk about these journeys in the Working with Crystals podcast, the video podcast with Misty. So right now I'm trying to find the words. So I'm holding my garnet necklace And I talked about this in the Crystal Working podcast or the Working with Crystals podcast. If you're working with your empathy, what you can do is what I'm doing right now. I'm holding the garnet in my hand that's on my necklace, and I'm using empathy to feel the garnet and feel like I am the garnet. And I feel like my mind gets expanded when I do this with this garnet. I feel like my hands are both tingling, my feet are kind of tingly. So the hardest part about expressing my emotions, and this is helping me with holding the garnet in my hand and tuning into it and feeling its vibrations and feeling its. Oh, it's red too, and red's my favorite color. What's hard about expressing my emotions is sometimes the words just don't match what I feel. They're not the right words. And there's a lot of words. We have all kinds of words. But the words don't express the emotions correctly for me. So it's easier to make a gesture, touch someone's hand, hug somebody, than to speak the emotions. A lot of people who are on journeys, one of their favorite things to do is to sleep with their crystals that they're journeying with. Put them under the pillow a lot. That's what a lot of people do. Put the crystal under the pillow. And a lot of times the crystals will affect our dreams, depending on the type of crystal. Personally, I don't have much dream recall, and I haven't for a very long time. But I've read what the other members of our group are saying about this garnet journey, and they're saying they're having vivid dreams, but they're not remembering them. They just remember impressions and waking up and remembering that it was really wow. And then, of course, you know how dreams are. They go bye bye. And some of the other ones were saying they felt really productive. So with garnet, it's associated with the root chakra. It's red, but it is also associated with the heart chakra, which is a big reason I was really excited to do a garnet journey. So, because I want to open up my heart chakra some more. It's a little boxed in right now. And I'm working on that with a lot of really great healers too. I'll have to talk about that in another podcast. I think that's why the garnet is helping me express my emotions, because they are hard to. It's. I gotta have to hold my garnet again and try to think of the words. Why it's a good thing. It's a good thing because, for example, I saw a doctor yesterday, and I really needed to express myself. Because uh, I have a lot of issues, and I was seeing a doctor who's a holistic healer, and he he's real friendly and very nice, and he asked a lot of questions, and I felt confident enough to be able to give him the answers very like succinctly. I could give him exactly what I needed to tell him, and I could think more clearly before I communicated. Now I'm saying all this while I'm holding the garnet on my necklace, which before I was holding the garnet on before I was holding it, I couldn't think of what to say. Isn't that pretty neat? I think it's really cool. Plus, you know what? Rocks are just pretty. Let's just not forget that rocks are fun and pretty, and just they're everywhere. I just went off on a little goon there. I can't get enough crystals, to be honest. I think the very first gemstone I ever set in a ring was a garnet. Could have been an amethyst. I'm pretty sure it was a garnet, though. I think it was a heart-shaped garnet, if I'm remembering. Or it was a trillion. Shoot, I can't remember. But it was really exciting the first time I actually set a gemstone, and it was a dream beginning to come true in 2000. What was that? 2011? Oh, yeah, that's how long I've been doing that. So I got into making jewelry because of my love for crystals and working with them metaphysically. Um, some other things people do during journeys is every single day they'll set some time aside and meditate with the crystal that they're journeying with. I've done that when we do journeys where I don't wear the jewelry, but I guess I kind of just did it when I held my garnet to be able to speak about my experiences yesterday when I couldn't find the words. So, listeners, I'm inviting you to try your own crystal journey. Pick out a crystal you love, anything you love, and read about it. See, if you want, you can read about it first. See what the the internet says, see what books say, see what people say that this crystal might be able to help you with, or help you do something, or motivate you, or make you feel a way. Yeah, pick up crystal, and then maybe go pick it out somewhere if you don't already have it. Go shopping. Yeah. And crystals are not expensive unless you want to get, a ruby. But you probably won't want to get a ruby. No. I do have rubies, but and I've never done a ruby journey. But there's a thought. I might do that sometime soon. But for your homework, if Misty were here, this is what she'd say. Try a crystal journey. Pick out a crystal. And let's say you start tomorrow and you pick up your crystal, you look at it, maybe you give it a name, maybe you hold it real tight, maybe you put it in your pocket and don't think about it, maybe you meditate with it, maybe you drive with it and see if you drive better. You can see all kinds of things that this crystal might affect you to do or to say or to feel. That's my favorite part about the crystal journeys, is feeling different things and experiencing meditation, especially with the crystals, in a different way. Because usually when I meditate, I'm not focusing on an object, or I'm focusing on just nothing. But meditating with a crystal is a little different. You hear things, you see things, and when you think about this, like this garnet around my neck, these garnets on my bracelet and earring, this beautiful garnet in my ring, and the ring is one I made for my cat Roxy. And Roxy was a very loving cat, and garnet always makes me think of love. But these rocks have formed over millennia. I mean, they're forever. They take a gazillion minutes and seconds and years. They take infinity, it seems like, to us to become what they are. And if you find something like a gemstone, well, where's that gemstone been? It's been cut. What if you didn't buy it? What if it came out of a piece of jewelry? Where'd it come from? Was it made just for that jewelry, or has this gem been cut since 1347, so by some guy in Italy? I don't know, but it's kind of fun to think about with rocks. Where have they been? Where will they go? They just keep going, and they're timeless. They really are. And yet they hold secrets of time in them with their chemistry. And with that chemistry, we can tap in with empathy and understand the vibration of all the knowledge and wisdom that crystal has gathered while it has been what it is, even before, as it formed. It's really, really something to think about for me. The time it takes for a crystal to grow and become what it is, and all the hands it changes, all the lifetimes of humans that it may have been, like this garnet in my ring. It's a pretty special garnet. It's unusual, rare gem. And I think it's been around. I kind of have a feeling it wasn't just cut and then sold. So who had this garnet? Why does it make me think of Roxy? What is this garnet story? Maybe by the end of my crystal journey, I'll know it. Maybe. So yeah, I invite you to do a crystal journey, listeners. I think you'd love it. And I want to thank my sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app where you can get your advice from psychics and empaths. Everclear.com, where you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And of course, listeners, I want to thank you. Thank you, always listening. And appreciate you. I really do. And Misty, I love you to death. Appreciate you too and miss you. And hopefully soon we'll get Misty back and do something cool. We got something going on sometime soon, right? Tonight, if you listen to this podcast, it is Tuesday, February 8th. I'm going to try to post it at 6 o'clock Central Time, 2 o'clock UTC. Jennifer Love and I are going live on Instagram to give you love readings. We talked about it in her podcast, but I thought I'd shout out again just in case anybody happens to hear this before that time. Come see us on Instagram. I'm Cyber Reader Lisa. She's Jennifer Love Me. At symbol things. And hey, we're doing free readings, mostly love readings, and I got my garnet. Maybe I can express my emotions about your emotions or his emotions or her emotions or their emotions really well for you with my tarot cards. And my tarot cards, have arrived. They're in my Etsy shop, Calypse. If you would like to check out the cards, you can go to the website, www.weareallpsychic.com, and go to Lisa Hazard's Jewelry and Etsy shop, Calypse. I think that's the link. And tarot deck is in that Etsy shop. And you would love it. I know you will. It's all cats, right? Meow. I love it. I'm really thrilled with how it came out. So again, thank you so much. Y'all have a great day and night and morning and middle of the night. Wherever you are, be happy. I insist. And get a crystal. Do a crystal journey. See if that makes you happy. Thank you so much. Goodbye.